This is Data from JGX, and here we are with another Mech review. Today we're talking about the Battlemaster. Why the Battlemaster? Because it got recently quirked, so there is new stuff to talk about. Before we get started, again, I remind you, if you haven't done that yet, to hit the subscribe button for this channel if you are enjoying this series. First thing, the hitboxes. The hitboxes, let's say that it's pretty equally divided between the three torsos. And when you turn it, the arms provide a decent shield for the side torsos. The side torsos shield the CT. So overall, good hitboxes. Let's go to the agility. (24-21) for an 85-tonner. This is a good agility. Mechs with a similar tonnage, like for example the Mech Mark II, the Blood Asp 90-tonners, the Stalker 85-tonner, they have worse agility. They move with a lot more difficulty. Yeah, the acceleration, deceleration, both good. Turn rate 50. It's a great number, 50. Usually, Mech Mark II, again, it has only 35 or 40 for some. Let's see, Mech Mark II should be 35 or 40. 35. Blood Asp should be 40. Yes. The Stalker is at 40. This one is at 50. So excellent turn rate. Good torso turn rate, 90. It torso twists pretty fast. Survival quirks. Good survival quirks. Like very good survival quirks. Structure mainly. But they are enough to make the mech very strong. We are talking about this mech because it not only got recently quirked, but it's very strong. Most of the mounts are high mounts. And I think some of these variants are among the best mechs in the game. The best for quick play, to me at the moment, is the Battlemaster 2C. I think that the Battlemaster 2C is among the best mechs in the game right now. Why? Because of the meta these days. The meta these days is usually mid-range, aggressive mid-range NASCARing gameplay, or short-range brawler backstabbers with machine guns, small poles and stuff. Long range, usually you'll be left, unless you have a pre-made that stays with you, you'll be left alone in the back and eaten by the enemy lights. So if a mech is mid-range and is good for mid-range, it's gonna be pretty meta in the actual status of the game. So this mech, XL350, 5 large poles with 10% heat. You can run an extra double heatsink or have double AMS with enough AMS ammo. Just don't run laser AMS. Laser AMS, it's completely retarded. 1 hit per second doesn't make any sense, because once you keep it active, imagine that if we had here like 2 laser AMS, it would be 2 hit per second. How much is 2 hit per second? A double heatsink dissipates 0.22. One double heatsink dissipates 0.22. So if you divide 2, you need 0.22 multiplied per 9. You need basically 9 double heatsinks out of your 18 ones just to run the laser EMSs. That's far too much. Unless these ones go at around 0.4 heat, 0.5, I'm not even going to consider them. Like dedicating half of your heatsinks just to a couple of laser AMS, that they are barely enough to counter one LRM-20, it's just stupid. Only an idiot would equip laser AMS knowing these data. Of course, people just equip laser AMS because they have no idea what's going on. But if you know what's going on and you know these data, there is no way you're going to equip a laser AMS on your mechs unless you are using mechs that don't utilize heat at all, like a double Gauss Thanatos with stealth armor but suboptimal mech. Anyways, so this is why you should run regular AMS. You could strip the regular AMS for a double heatsink, not worth it. Just keep the double AMS. What makes this mech good is the heat efficiency and the mounts. You could do the same build on the 1G, because the 1G has 10 range without the double AMS, of course, because it doesn't have double AMS, it just has one. But for the kind of meta that you want to go to, the LPLs already have enough range. And the mech itself is pretty hot. So this mech starves on heat, not on range when you're running large pulses. So you want the 10 heat variant, not the 10 range for the large pulses. This is how it feels once fully skilled.
Target acquired. Destroyed.
Eventually, if you want, you see, this is why you can't equip a laser AMS on this mech. It's already taking ages to dissipate. It's fine because the large pulses have a good damage per heat, but if you put laser AMS here, you're just doomed. If you want, you can also alpha, but you shouldn't do that because it's not heat efficient. Like it's a bad idea. The duration is short. You can take it, like you can peek and do like.
Heat level critical.
You want an XL on this mech because it's a peaker. LFE, no, you will be slower, remain in the back, get caught by NASCAR, and you lose a torso. You won't dissipate heat anymore because usually ranged weapons have very bad damage per heat values. So you can fight with half mech if you have like LBXs or small lasers, but if you have weapons very bad at damage per heat with few heat sinks, you can't do that. So even if you put an LFE, you'll just be slower, have less heat sinks, and once you lose a torso, you won't be able to shoot anything anymore because of the heat spike and the reduced heat dissipation rate. If you don't know what these are, please check my tutorials on what the Mech Lab doesn't tell you, hidden statistics, part 2 of 2. I've done a lot of analysis on this topic. Let's talk about the other ones. 1G, again, either 5 large pulses, or if you want to fully exploit its 10 range quirk, on the 1G you should go 6 large with an XL like this, or a standard 300 if you plan on camping in some location. This is going to be particularly good in faction play, not in quick play. Other Battlemasters. This one, the 3M, has a medium pulse HSL quirk. +2. So you can fire 8 no ghosts. Cooldown, missile quirk, top speed, so this one will run faster. This is a brawler. So you want 8 medium pulses, an MRM30. And you can run light engine here, because the damage per heat of the medium pulses is stronger. Like the medium pulses have good damage per heat. Even an MRM30 has a good damage per heat. So you can afford losing a torso and keep fighting. This is how the mech feels once fully skilled.
Heat level critical.
This mech is decent,
Heat level
but not
critical.
great. Like it can do its stuff because it's fast, it runs pretty fast. Good medium pulse alpha. But it's not great in terms of sustained DPS without overheating.
Heat level
Sure, it's fun, but there are better mechs for this role. Similar mech, the other one with the medium lasers and 2 MRM30s. With 3S, energy heat, missile cooldown. This one relies on massive missile cooldown and velocity. I'd say that this one could be slightly better because of the 2 MRM30s. More range. This one behaves in a similar way. You can feel the velocity on the MRMs. This is strong on MRM cooldown. MRMs have stronger damage per heat. So when you're overheating, you'll do more damage if you keep firing the MRMs, not the medium lasers. The velocity is definitely noticeable. And the cooldown as well.
critical.
I'd say that this one is stronger than the other. The other one would maybe need an MPL heat 5%, something like that. Then we have the Hellslinger, the hero. This one is based on snub noses now. Snub nose HSL, so you should do 4 snub noses and then something else, like SRMs. External heat transfer. There are 2 mechs in the game with this kind of quirk. The Battlemaster Hellslinger and all the Night Gears. The Night Gears have 100%. What's the meaning of this quirk? The environment affects the way in which your mech dissipates the heat. So if you're in a cold environment, your mech will dissipate faster. If you are in a hot environment, your mech will dissipate slower. With this quirk, the amount of influence that the environment has on your mech is cut by 50%. So you get less bonus when you are on a cold map, but also less malus when you are on a hot map. On a Night Gear, instead, since it's 100%, the mech is not influenced at all by the heat of the maps. So you just get less influenced by the heat of the maps. Brawling build. The Hellslinger is a brawling build on a mech that is not really designed for brawling. You can make it fast to try to get into a brawl faster. Decent build overall, but there are better mechs for brawling. Like the battle, this is okay. It's not overpowered. It's not garbage. This is an okay mech You go fast because you try to reach your enemy, to reposition, to get in place, but I don't think this is very, very strong. Like, whatever. Like, this mech, okay, this is how you could fit it. Alternatively, it's just 4 large balls, or, I don't know, 4 heavy PPCs, shoot 2 and 2. But if you want to play with the quirks, honestly, I didn't do these quirks, but trying to make a brawler out of the Battlemaster was a pretty dumb idea, in my opinion. 1S is completely useless. Maybe you can run some LRMs on it. I'm gonna push in the next patches for some other quirks for the 1S. Like, this is a mess. Like, what the fuck is this? MRMs, SRMs, medium pulse. What the fuck am I supposed to run on this mech? There is a lot of fluff, clutter, useless trash, when instead this mech could be good and not OP with a regular PPC HSL +1, mount 4 PPC high mounts, and shoot those. I'm gonna try to go for this in the next Cauldron meetings. So we're talking about 1G, 1S, 3M, 3S, Hellslinger 2C. The 1D is a fat ballistic quirk. Gem chance, cooldown, velocity. It's based on that ballistic arm. The 1D is based on that ballistic arm. You could try to run racks, but the problem is that hand actuator, you can't remove it, so you cannot do 3 Ultra 2s, and this is a massive problem. You cannot do 2 Ultra 5s, and that's again a problem. I'd like to remove all this shit, but I can't, so I'm gonna just go with an Ultra 10 and PPCs. Again, fast engine, because this mech cannot face tank a lot of damage, so you need to be fast, reposition, peak. This should be a decent build, like a decent peekaboo build.
Critical.
And then when you're hot, you should keep firing the Ultra 10. This is good for peekaboo. At this point, I think we talked about all of them. In conclusion, I think that for me, like without any doubt, the strongest one is the 2C with 5 large pulse. Alternatively, you can try the 1G with 5 large pulse, or the 1G with 6 yaw large. These, like 3 setups, are the ones that you should try. An alternative, 7 energy. You could try something like 3 large pulse, and then ER meds, but one of them is in the arm. The fact is that with this kind of setup, you'll be able to go with a faster engine. But, I mean, maybe you can fit an LFE 350. This is a decent alternative. LFE 350 for the 1G, 20 double heatsink, a decent laser vomit. You are LFE, so you won't die, but again, this time I'm taking an LFE just because I don't get that much extra benefit from an XL. Because the engines post the 350, they start weighting way too much for the benefit that they give. Like, this is not worth 15 tons. This upgrade here is not worth, like, what is 11 tons? Yeah, more or less. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. So in the end, definitely try the 2C. 5 large poles, double AMS. Due to the LRM apocalypse that is right here around in a quick play, this should be useful. In pre-made, in 3-man pre-made, you can earn 3 of these, so that's pretty good. We are done for today, that's it. Again, if you haven't done that yet, please remember to subscribe to this channel, and I'll catch you next time, guys.